up, guys? Wake Up Snorlax here, streaming some more of the Outer Worlds. If you guys like the series, go ahead and hit that like button and let me know. Any like is appreciated.
Sorry, I'll just see a minute.
I can't hardcore parkour! I can't hardcore parkour!
He's off the threats, friend.
Boss's orders. We all know.
Alright, so I think we're gonna pick up where we left off instead of going to try to get those drugs for crazy Mr. Abernathy. I think we're gonna go inside the cannery. So let's take this upstairs.
The grease monkey, Argo?
Who you calling a grease monkey?
Sir, you asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just seems we've got a guest.
Oh
Really
yeah,
now,
sorry.
Buddy, I do wish you'd spoken up.
I'm Gage.
I
How's
do
it going?
apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself.
That's really unnecessary, Mr. Reed. I mean, you seem like a horrible person, but
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator.
I can
cannot
read.
help but notice you are not in uniform.
I don't work for you.
Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to
I would
run
never
away
work for a
with my
company
wits.
like you.
Been a few seasons since we've
Clearly
had a
has
visitor pass through.
a lot of OSHA violations. Yeah, I'm just
Only
looking for power
regulator
regulator.
we've got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing.
I mean,
I
you
can't
could
let you
give me the
have
power
our
supply.
power regulator. But
Power regulator, whatever.
I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. My proposition benefits the both of us. Please, hear me out. There's a power regulator in
I
the
don't
old
trust you.
botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so
There's people
all
living
that
there.
power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal.
You want me to make it so they come back here
Reroute
more?
power from the botanical district
Right.
over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way.
I don't trust you.
I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there.
They're legally inhabited.
I am not trying to pull one over on you, friend.
Yeah, you
were
are.
bound
You want me
run
to
into
do
them
something
sooner or
shady to
later.
these poor people?
The people living in the botanical labs. They're deserters.
It doesn't
Former
matter.
workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home.
People don't need to sell their soul to the fucking company's store.
My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will
No.
convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time
No,
her
it's
band
not.
of deserters came back to town.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful.
Yeah,
I mean,
you could.
if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter
She
the
shouldn't be treated
I am
like that.
trusting you with mine.
You're treating her like
I'm trusting
property.
Miss Holcomb
She's
to
not
guide
property.
you as
She's a
you'd
human
like.
being.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators
Yeah, you're coming with
and
me in the ship.
hairpins and
We're
engine
getting
tape,
you the
so
hell out of this hellhole.
I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Can I just put a bullet in this dude? Oh, now I got commands. Cool.
Hey, ma'am, can we talk?
Yeah, where'd you go?
Can we chat?
Yeah, what's up?
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like
No,
me.
you can tag along.
It's just... Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters. On account of it's his job and what all, but... That's not the only side of the tale. To Mr. Thompson, a
figured.
person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left.
Yeah,
Life's
this town's
hard here.
fucked up.
Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is.
Yeah, couldn't
Thanks,
hurt.
ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it.
True.
That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Your dad's smart man. Okay, we don't want to go that way then. Let's go this way. Yeah, this game's pretty awesome so far.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Whoa, don't need that. Don't need that.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto, at your service. Or Vicar Max, if you're the sort who prefers brevity. And Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out.
Whoa.
And
Whoa, no
a
need for the
complete
giant
stranger.
English, man. This is
Curious.
casual conversation.
Just tagging along, Vicar DeSoto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
Yeah, I want
What?
to talk to you.
I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't
Well, it's
imagine
'cause
what would be
she's
so
not good at
brave
speaking to
as to
people.
drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked her to do?
I'll speak.
Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Yeah, is that even possible?
If it were as easy as a few soothing words in the right ears, I'm sure it would have been done already. Consider it a challenge. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the geothermal plant. It is not as safe as you might assume. One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down banned heretical texts.
What?
I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library in Emerald Vale. However, the collector's residence lies outside the town's walls.
Oh, so I gotta
My
break in and steal
retrieval
something.
efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book.
Yeah, sure. I'll keep an eye out for your book.
What? No, I don't want to burn it. I would never. I mean, I just want to... Look, I have a very simple goal here.
Sorry, it was a
just
cool
want to keep
dialogue
the
option.
writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. Glad we see eye to eye.
I mean,
It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. I'll mark where I saw it on your map. Assuming you're serious?
Yeah, I'll grab this book.
Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can always find me here.
Let's saddle up. My heart's on fire, Elvira. I want to try some of the other different guns too. I can't wait to see, because Spacer Choice guns. Moon Mine looks like Pops from regular show. Oh my! You know who else looks like Pops? Me! Pops! Now Chowder. Rada. No Schnitzel. Rada.
Incoming! There they go!
Sorry, my alarm was going off. Skin salve. There better be some good on the other side of this.
I wish I could do that.
Yep. Alright, let's go. I mean, it's not hard. You can parkour. I was gonna say, it seems like you can parkour. Nico pad, so it's nicotine on a pad. Somebody's trying to quit smoking. There's one thing about the Fallout games, is you can always take a bunch of drugs and just get really, really, like, super messed up. But, like, your stats would go, like through the roof. Tried the best. Now try Spacer's Choice. I already looted this place. I did. Actually, is this where... Okay. I don't have any more, lockpicking. I don't like that. The Fallout games, you didn't lose your lockpicks unless you broke them.
Nice one! That's the last of them.
Cool. Wait, isn't this where I died last night? It is. Spencer Woolridge as Chief of the Savages. This has always been really cool parts to the Fallout series. When you get these classic art pictures in like the 1950s style.
Here we go! Down they go! Roy's Something you need? That's on account of how It's hard to miss what you never knew. I don't ponder it over much. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting refinery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
That is messed up.
I don't know about normal. It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers.
That is... Like, if your children are sold into it like that, that is beyond messed up. Yeah, I took one down. this place is really good for XP. Like, I'm hoping to level up. Old man Mr. Abernathy's locked himself in his quarters again. This is the greatest thing ever since sliced bread! Tartar sauce. 2-hour energy brew. Spacer's choice. I like the little jingles. My lockpick is one too low. So what are these? A display fashioned resemble a pair of mighty primals. Requiring extensive field research, let us have a moment of silence for the researchers to give their eyes in the pursuit. If the ocean rivers are the heart of veins of emerald ale, then Saltuna is our highly profitable blood. Okay. Just gonna loot you guys. Hope nobody minds. Like I said, their bathrooms are filthy. Someone's just pooping all over the floor. Like, forget the toilet that's right here. Probably a little overkill. Got bright control armor. Sawed-off shotgun. Oh, one of my things is highly damaged. It's the sawed-off shotgun. So... I got new armor too. Riot control. I'll keep that, because I always keep my Vault 101 jumpsuit.
You're fast.
R. Lindenberg. The keycard encoder in the lobby is backed up and running. Hopefully go on the fritz again. As a minor case it does break down again, you can borrow a keycard from the director or one of the workers in the second floor offset if you lose your card. I must lodge a complaint. Your obsession with the Manta Queen is wasting all our budget and holding up. Okay. I don't know what the Manta Queen is. This letter is an update to update you regarding your request for one adult Manta Queen. As you may remember, our trackers discovered a beautiful specimen out in the wild. Per your approval, we deployed a team of highly skilled hunters to kill it for you. We regret to inform you the entire team has perished. Please expect an invoice from our office including the cost of the gravesite fees as stipulated in our contract. Additionally, we must ask you to cover the cost of all equipment damaged, corroded, dissolved, eaten, or digested, partially or otherwise. Thank you for your patronage. Please allow me to offer you the opportunity to purchase a second hunting expedition at a 10% discount. I look forward to hearing from you sincerely. Hunters and Trackers Ltd. Partnered with the Wildlife Eradication Society, a whole-owned subsidiary of the Universal Defense Logistics. Hunters and Trackers Limited, teaching the fauna of the Halican the cruel realities of existence. Sorry if it's not good for... I'm not reading very good. I am not a smart man, Jenny. Okay. Sweet. Stun baton. Yeah, we should turn this thing. See if it can take us up low. Or did I already go up low? I'm just not noticing. Okay, so that's what the adrenals do. Almost to the next level, okay. Raptidian head anatomy. Anatomy and behavior. Relaxed posture. Threat display. back to Mr. Abernathy. Probably gonna kill him. But who cares? He's a crazy old man. Hey, what did you say? Huh? Oh, I done crap myself again. My stomach is filled with haggis and hash. I hate that when you get a song stuck in your head. Better than nature. I guarantee it's not. A constable.
A friend of mine died a couple weeks back. Still ain't past it.
Hey, I need to talk to you.
Oh, sweet merciful law. A marauder's in my domicile. Oh, wait. It's just you. Nearest killed me with fright. At least I know I ain't hallucinating. You need something?
I'm just a figment of your
Let's see it.
imagination.
Don't keep us waiting. Sweet life-giving nostrum. The first hit's always the best. Scratched together all the bits I had around the domicile. It ain't as much as you deserve, but it's all I got.
So,
You're wringing the blood out of me. Here, you can have whatever's in my pockets.
yeah.
Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing with myself.
I don't know why I got my gun out. You run faster with your gun holstered. Everyone knows that. Quick draw! Starting to feel like Arthur Morgan. Always quick draw. Quick draw! Hammersmith invites you to come see the greatest toss ball backs of all time. My stomach is filled with haggis and hash. All these dead marauders, man. I kind of like that they don't seem to respawn. They probably do. Yeah. Now, do all the Spacer's Choice kind of look like old school repeaters and stuff?
Nicely done.
Armor parts? Nothing in that combat drum. That's your seeking part. Nah. Oh. It's a plasma rifle. I like the ammo types in this game. I mean, I wish it was more like Fallout, where ammo's a little harder to get, but... Raiding your cupboards. There's nothing you can do to stop me. Because you're dead. All these people are evicted. I mean, I get it, it's because they're trying to cut down the amount of buildings they have to make come inside like this, but... Well, these guys reading material right next to the toilet. Or she, I don't know. Leave me alone. Ooh. Light ammo. I like the light effects in this. It's really neat. Uh-oh. Street lights are coming on. I better get my ass home before I get my butt beat. Botanical labs.
Move
Botanical
along,
labs.
stranger. We don't want any trouble.
Whoa there, Grace.
I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for
Well,
ain't
howdy,
here.
ma'am.
Move along.
Do you know Coral?
Answers, huh? You must be one of those philosophicals. Already got ourselves one of those. A geo what? Look, plants ain't my purview. You're better off asking after Adelaide. If you're gonna start wandering around my
How do you
camp,
not know what a
know
geothermal
that
power
I got
plant
my
is?
sights on you. Yeah, that's us. And you can tell Thompson we're doing just fine by ourselves. Enough with the questions. No offense, but I've got a lot on my mind.
No offense.
Explains why you're still yammering on at me. No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace.
Okay.
Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Vale's a wide place. She could be anywhere.
I'll find her.
Appreciate it.
Well, I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it because of the experience points. So, yeah. I hear a mongoose.
Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
Sorry, I did not mean to steal that. I didn't see it till after I already hit square.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear?
Yeah, where can I get a number 5? With a side of fries and a Big Mac and cool?
I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb, grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Yeah.
Reed Thompson? You here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Make amends. Spare me. Only thing Reed knows how to make is a mess. Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans?
I didn't agree. I'm trying to advance the story.
Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip him out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Yes, I am a hero.
I trust you.
But thinking about it, could be a bad thing, because all the people that kind of depend on their jobs. Well, yeah, their facility's clean as hell. And there's a little bit of plant clutter out here, but can I take these, or is it steel mag pick? It's a chicken, Eddie! A chicken! Hey. head back to Reed. I think we should help out. I think we should help look for Zoe. Because it'd be good for XP. Good news, I'm alive. Starting to feel a little better too. There's a group of deserters living out in the old botanical labs. They found a way to grow some food, or something that passes for food anyway. Adelaide boiled a pot of something green and leafy and told me to drink it twice a day for my symptoms. I suppose tastes atrocious, but I've been feeling better. It's nice to be away from the cannery. The labs have just enough power to run it either wave. So I've been catching up on my serial dramas. Masked Musketeer, What Would I Do Without You, go crazy. Most likely crack up, murder all my neighbors, and run screaming into the hills like some wild marauder. I don't know, that doesn't sound too bad. I could see myself leading raid of marauders, a band of bandits. Wait, it doesn't sound right. Band of bandits. What would we call ourselves? The Formidable 14. The 100 Hooligans. Featuring Zoe, Bandit Queen. Terror on the Monarch! Well, today's the day, Zoe. Today's the day you take your destiny in your own hands. I've been listening to Grace talk about the Marauder threat, bands of wild, free-spirited bandits living in camps on the hills, warming themselves by the light of barrel fires, probably mounted the heads of their enemies on spike as a warning to folk like me, living a life of comfort and ease, free of any rules. I bet they could take the whole region if they were organized. I've been tucking away some of Adelaide's food, and I've got some spare cans of salt tuna. Should last me a couple weeks if I ration. Got some Adrena time too. Everybody loves Adrena time, even marauders, right? I got the odds those marauders will let me throw in with them if I dangle a couple syringes of Adrena time before their eyes. This is gonna be great. Look out. Terra 2, Bandit Queen, Zoe's origin story has begun. I have a whole gang of marauders at my beck and call. Maybe I can even score some Rizzos. Alright, I'm not gonna read any more of that shit. Am I gonna have to kill Zoe? I got a feeling I am. Hello?
Huh?
Pulse rifle. Wait. Oh, I don't have to charge it. Sorry. Sorry.
I don't know anybody.
Here we go! Nice one! Oh, gotta hurt.
Yeah, I'll take your bits. Not in a weird way. Your credits. Empty bin.
Great work!
What do you think you're doing? Carry on.
Bandit leader Zoe. I don't know why I did that. I mean, it's good because I got bolter pistol. Yeah, I'll take that. I like his pulse rifle.
Wow, you crossed them all off, like some sort of heroic accountant running down a list. Teach me your ways. What? You mean Adelaide's little congregation of nature-loving nobodies? I could not possibly be less interested in them. You, on the other hand, you were a sight to behold. If I had half your skills, I'd be the greatest outlaw the coast has ever seen. Why? Adelaide wants me back on garden duty or something? Thanks, but I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong.
I mean, you can come with me on my ship.
And no serial dramas. I've been thinking about going back. I just gotta know if Lord Cavendish really is the masked marketeer. I'll take my stuff and head on back, I suppose. Grace is gonna be glaring knives at me, so I've got that to look forward to.
Yep, take care. Good. ammo! Ammo everywhere! I don't even know what the cool thing does, I don't think it. What? To get ammo. I like that pulse rifle. I'm gonna keep that bad boy. Hiya, Grace.
What is it? We
Yeah,
didn't
Tuck's
always
coming
get
back.
along, but I'm glad to know she's safe. What happened, anyway?
She went to go become a marauder, man.
Zoe joined up with a band of marauders. Zoe. The same Zoe who doesn't know a barrel from a trigger. Well, I've heard stranger things. You pretty much did my job for me. Least I could do is pay you for your trouble.
Yeah, I'll take some
Let
credits.
me know if I can do something for you.
Yeah, this helps you out, so... Deserters are now agreed. Oh, yeah, cool. You wanna go explore the wilds a little bit? Cool. Nope. Nope. It's like Death Claw Alley down there. I remember what happened the last time. I managed with a bunch of Death Claws.
Quick. That's the last of them.
Yeah. Shot cannon. Cool. It's an Adreno. Take that. Take that Adreno. Cool, man. Oh, that is so pretty. I'm gonna be really sad if this gun breaks. I know they all break in the game, but I'll be sad when this one actually breaks. Spacer's choice. When you want your freedom taken away. Yeah, we're bringing down this corporation. Yeah, might as well. I think can. Apparently this is the old cannery? Adreno! Probably missed more not reading that stuff. But I don't feel like reading every little thing. And I'm not the greatest. I can read. I have a good reading level, but I mean, man. Phobic dexterity perception per point. Checked. Is that another settlement? Is this the one I raided earlier at Zoe's? This is the one Zoe was at. Yeah, I'm bringing that cannery down. I'm taking their power regulator. I don't know though. There might be another dialogue option. Oh. Cave entrance. turn myself into plasma.
That's the last of them.
Hello? Anybody home? Oh, there's it mine. Cannot disarm mines. Lockpick.
Nice.
Tarmac and cheese. Or did I say tamarack and cheese? I guess it's tamarack and cheese. Because tarmac and cheese wouldn't make no sense. Asphalt and cheese. Oh, that's right, those things are like death claws except for they throw stuff at you. That's the Mantiqueen, holy crap. It's like a bird mixed with a bug. Unless those are tendrils and not feathers. I think they're tendrils. Because you can use these mods to upgrade your gun at the workshop. I should use a workbench. Hello, residents.
Any progress on that matter we discussed?
Yeah, I mean...
Wonderful. This is fantastic. Well worth all the sacrifices I... Wait. What the fuck is this? Is this... French? I can't fucking read French.
Ha!
It's a law-forsaken joke is what it is. French. Ha! I was so high and mighty, preaching to the yokels about following the plan, while fighting it at every turn. Overreacting?
Yeah, you are
Do you
overreacting.
have any idea how many years I spent in... No. You couldn't possibly know, could you? I've spent my life searching for the keys to unlocking the secrets of the universal equation that underlies the plan. I had hoped this book held some of those answers. I became so desperate, I even got myself assigned to this plague-ridden backwater to find the damn thing. All the time and suffering I've spent. Wasted.
Yeah.
Please. As if my life should have no greater meaning than proselytizing to a bunch of feeble-minded wretches. Nothing could be more
You're a
excruciating
priest.
than discussing the true nature of reality with people who have no interest beyond their next Aetherwave program. But that's neither here nor there. What I need to do now is to find a translator, obviously. But to do that, I'll first need to secure transport. You have a ship. Perhaps I could make myself of use to your crew.
Yeah.
Certainly. I already gave you most of my money, but I can offer you free spiritual counseling, and I'd be happy to watch your back. I'm pretty handy with a tossball stick, or any blunt instrument, really. I'm also a passable gun hand, if it comes to that. I can usually talk my way out of conflict, though. Oh, I'm fairly competent at hacking computers as well.
You're not going to be going out of the ship.
Fantastic. Let me get my things in order.
Edgewater's gonna miss you. Folk here always had good things to say about their vicar.
Thank you, Ms. Holcomb. I'll be glad for the change of scenery, and to leave this place behind. I shall see you on the ship, Captain, whenever you're ready to leave Emerald Vale.
Okay. Miss Vickers, you're coming with me too. Just a heads up. They got a workbench. What do you recommend? Like, how can we do this peacefully?
If you could see your way to getting us our power back, I'd appreciate it. Go ahead. Adelaide was our only flavor specialist. We are a Saltuna canning institution. Saltuna without flavor is like a cysty pig without tumors, borderline inedible. Were it up to me, friend, I'd stack our larders with Saltuna galore. No other brand of Saltuna adds as much vim or vigor to the body's humors. But, and this is something we must keep between the two of us, Saltuna is hard to come by, what with being a species indigenous to the seas of another world. Oh, we've scavenged together some organic material from the surrounding environs. Mostly organic, mostly local mushrooms. Some of which possess a texture akin to a well-boiled slab of Saltuna. The difference is all but impossible to detect to any but the prissiest of palate.
What? No. There's... No! I can't allow this company to exist. They need to go. They need to... I know you have friends here, but this place needs to go. Adelaide's right. The cannery is bad. You're making people slave away, and you're feeding them not even real salt tuna. Like you just told me you're giving them mushrooms. I can't look the other way. I can't do it.
You can handle this. Woo! Nice work!
I mean, I guess they're pretty easy to kill when you got a pulse rifle.
I always wanted to poke around in here.
Searching for unauthorized persons.
Get ready!
I'm authorized. It's not the legs. Ooh, that was close. Yeah, give me more energy cells. Energy cells? Okay. So we disarm the fences. Oh, I got enough bits. Transition to geothermal. From the from the planet to your living room, Edgewater geothermal plant. Well, thanks, Edgewater.
The control room should be off to the right. I hope we're doing the right thing.
Okay, here we go! Everyone all right? We got him!
Oh, that's right, I'm encumbered.
Easy.
Halt. Sweeping beat.
Don't mess with us.
On my way, combat drone. I'm gonna sell some junk.
3 switches. That'll be easy enough. Dang, that's impressive.
It's not that impressive.
Processing.
Look out!
People in front of me.
That's the last of them.
Okay, going quiet.
Unexpected.
Go away, Phantom! Not real. You're not real. No, 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 just leave me alone.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
Engineering. There we go.
Unexpected. Searching for.
Incoming!
happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Vale?
I suppose they'll die.
If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the Vale?
You're not real. You're not real. Get away! No, just leave me alone. You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot, scram.
Phantom?
You can talk? The Phantom's never talked before. Well, I knew I shouldn't have eaten that sprat raw. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon. I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant. Jimmy'd opened the vending machines. That lasted a good couple of months. Eventually, I had to resort to more unconventional means of filling my insides. Mechanicals lost their bolts. Opened fire on anything that moved. It was pandemonium. I was on cleaning duty at the time. My old boss had me scrubbing pipes when the killing started. So, as usual, I missed out. I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries. Repaired them, maintained, upgraded. Did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer. I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering.
A little bit.
There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you.
He's clearly crazy, but all that be because he keeps this place running. Cleaning pipes. What is this used for ammo? Heavy. Okay. I'm starting to run low on heavy ammo. Not getting in there.
That's the last. I'm not sure what the ride is. Alls I know is the decision's final.
I know what I'm doing.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like... Really?
Yeah, I'm glad you
wow.
Wait.
Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
So my armor's compromised, huh? Yep. Plasma cutter. Slices, dices, cauterizes. Yeah! It's a lightsaber. You got any heavy ammo? Yeah, I need armor. The hell's that helmet? I get it, it's Spacer's choice. let's see what they gotta say. They're probably gonna be really mad. But I even diverted the power. I have a good reason, Adelaide. It's my partner's idea. This would be such a neat idea if real roads were like that. Lit up like that. So you can see the lines a lot better.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
That's the thing about growing old. Your eyes start to fail. Elsewise, I would have seen you for the snake that you are, chopped you into pieces and roasted you on a spit. This is all you're doing. Cutting off my power, killing off my garden. Without refrigeration, my food will spoil, and my flock will starve. I want to ask you this in private, away from the eyes of my flock, so they do not see me lose my temper. Tell me, why did you do it? You want my flock wasting their lives in that cannery? Fine. Go and talk to them. Go talk to Grace and Thomas. Look them in the eye and tell them their life here is over, and the only thing left to do is go back to Edgewater. This is now your responsibility. And you tell Reed Thompson that I will never return to Edgewater. I would rather die among my flowers than live under his management. You offering to cross Reed off, huh? This some sort of twisted reparation for what you've done? Or are you just looking for a chance to sow some chaos? Kill Reed if you must, or talk him into leaving if you can. He and I are not sharing the same four walls together. Tell Reed that I can make his people healthy again. I can end their plague. Start a new garden right in the cannery. 3 square meals for every man and woman in Edgewater. Tell him how I've made the Vale bloom again. The soil has whispered its secrets to me, and I alone know how to breathe life back into the earth. The secret is human corpses. I've been grinding them up in my fertilizer for years. Marauder, worker, don't matter much to me. The human body is rich with nutrients. I have got a means to cure the plague, and I will not share that cure until Reed leaves town.
That's kind of...
Those are my terms.
I mean, it's genius, but it's kind of messed up.
Everybody keeps staring at me. It's not my fault the power's dead. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi, hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no. I'm just along with this lady here.
I seen you wandering around here. You don't look like you're coming from town.
I'm not.
Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. Would you? I've been thinking about going back. I'm not much use to anybody here. I get sick thinking about working at the cannery. I can't do that again. I mentioned those manuals on mechanical engineering. Suppose if I had one of those, I could go back to Reed and make a real case for myself.
I don't know what you did to talk some sense into Zoe, but I appreciate it. The matter's been weighing on me.
Yeah.
Zoe came back, but I couldn't keep her from slipping out in the first place. Who's to say I could keep marauders from slipping in? I don't see us lasting more than a couple of weeks out here. I'm loath to admit it. We're gonna have to make our peace with Thompson and hope he takes us back. Listen, we go back to Reed, hat in hand, begging for our old jobs back. Well, Adelaide's not gonna forgive us. She never talked to us again. Sure, suit yourself. I'll be here.
Skin cream. Oh, that's pretty cool, actually. Better than nature's skin cream. Facial mask. Engineering ointment. Energizing ointment, sorry. Bread.
I've been feeling pretty low these days.
This is where the magic happens. Well, science. But it still happens. Hey, that's... I mean, if you need it. Okay.
It's a nice house you get there, Zoe. might have to kill Reed. Spacer's choice. Reed Thompson.
This is a fine day, friend. Power flows through our town like a cool stream of water. I trust Adelaide's people have seen their way to reason. So,
yeah, I mean,
when can I
kinda.
expect them back at their posts?
Yeah.
Then we are at an impasse. Stewardship over this town has been entrusted to me by Spacer's choice. I am not perfect. I have made my share of mistakes. But I have done my best for this town.
Have you?
I am a Spacer's Choice man. My father was a Spacer's Choice man. Edgewater may not look like much to some buttoned-up freelancer, but it is my home. I don't believe you. Plague's a reality of life. Best treatment is a good work ethic.
Bullshit.
You are disparaging our parent company, and it is not appreciated. We are a Spacer's Choice Saltuna cannery. We eat Saltuna here, and only Saltuna. I don't understand. You say Adelaide's growing her own food, but that should not be possible. The soil's gone sour. Company said as much. Our own botanists couldn't grow decent crops for us, so the company got rid of them and shut down the greenhouse. You'll excuse me for being skeptical. How exactly is Adelaide growing crops in barren soil? Adelaide has been using dead bodies in her fertilizer? That's... Come to think of it, that's a stroke of brilliance.
Brilliant, yeah.
What a remarkably efficient solution. Recycling Spacer's Choice property long after its date of expiration.
Property, so...
I was wondering about those missing bodies in Silas's cemetery. You're right, I am being obstinate. If the best thing I can do for this town is to stand down, then stand down I shall. If Adelaide's found a way to feed her people and cure the plague,
yeah,
then she deserves this office more than I do. I won't stand in her way. My life here is ended. Give me a little time to settle my affairs. I'm sure Adelaide will be glad to see the back of me.
Probably. Steal these. Get your friend to come back. There's one. Huh. That's a little weird showing the things. I mean, it's cool that they came up with all this stuff. Go to the community center, grab that one. And then deliver it gonna have to get off. 'Cause I gotta go do my real job. Blood and revenge are hammering in his head. So, steps up. Yay. Spectrum vodka, a glass for every class. Yes, Spectrum Red. I don't think vodka is supposed to be red. I could be wrong. I could be. And probably not. Rizzo's. Hopefully it's not as bad as Lizzo's. I just took a DNA test, turns out. Hurry up, game, hurry up. I need to get this book and deliver it. Hey, Mr. Crazy Dude. Manti pillar. Huh. 50. That's... Obsidian.
Any luck finding one of those manuals?
Yeah.
No kidding. Really? Well, which one?
All of them.
The geothermal plant? Now that is just incredible. You really went exploring down there? Adelaide always told us it was swarming with hostile mechanicals. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special on the off chance that somebody'd search. Well, don't keep me. Look
Part
at that too. Well, don't keep. Hey,
I'm glad we could help, Thomas.
I've been saving something for you. Just.
Marauders can't.
Look at that. I never... Suppose it's time our flock made our way back to Edgewater. You're telling me you did all this just to put me in charge of Edgewater? Stranger, you are some kind of twisted. I might turn that old cannery into a garden. Got ourselves a whole cemetery bursting with bodies. I need some time to gather my personals. Long walk back to Edgewater. Got a considerable burden to carry.
Yeah. And
Food's bound to spoil at this rate.
One of us want to...
go back to the unreliable. Wentworth High Society. No, they're cigarettes. Cigars. No, yeah, cigarettes. I just seen cigar, and I was like, oh, there's cigars, and they're cigarettes.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. I'm the only decent mechanic Edgewater's got, but every time I think of going back, I get this sinking feeling. Oh, it's kind of you to say that. And you're right. I wasn't happy. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves for my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship sinking. And if you ever need... Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain,
Well, I certainly am looking forward.
Captain, I have detected that. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to... Outstanding. Oh.
Yeah, I think I know how to install a power regulator. Boom!
What can I do for you, Captain? Goodbye. What can I do for you? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an...
Yeah! And with that, we are in space. Yeah! Against all odds, the unreliable takes flight! Thank you guys for streaming with me tonight. If you were joining me, I appreciate it. And like I said, I do have to get ready to go to work, unfortunately. So if you like the episode, hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe.
Communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells. Based on my initial calculation...
How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any unnatural
I'm gonna have to cut
drippage?
off the stream, guys.
Normal side effect of